Hi, I'm Ted. And I feel like, I wonder if people think I'm on drugs.
No, you're not on drugs.
I'm high on life.
High on life, baby. Let's go.
Okay, I'm Ted, and this is the Real Ted G podcast. And today, Bing's on the phone. Bing's on the microphone.
Howdy, partner.
Hello, Bing. All right,
Hello.
and we're going to discuss something. What are we discussing, Bing?
We're talking about quality and not quantity. You know, why it's important to do good work as opposed to a lot of work that's kind of ugh. And paying attention to details is important too.
Yep. Quality, not quantity. Well, and also, so my father used to have this old phrase that he said. He said it in Greek. Opios δεν έχει μυαλό, έχει πόδια. So what that translates to, actually I had two really cool phrases. I'll use that one in a second too. So the first one translates to, if you don't have a brain, you probably have legs. So you gotta, there's the long way around things, and then there's the smart way around things, I guess. So opios δεν έχει μυαλό, έχει πόδια. And then the other one he would say, which I'm really starting to grow into now. And I guess that's the fear of everyone. We all turn into our parents, apparently. The other one is, if you think, άμα νομίζεις εγώ θα αδειάσω το κεφάλι μου να γεμίσω το δικό σου. And then what was the end of it? Then I guess it's like you have another thing coming. So what it translates to is, if you think I'm going to empty my head to fill up yours, you have another thing coming, is because it usually references that the head you're trying to fill up can't retain anything, so it just spills over anyway. So that's so anyway, those two fun phrases. But back to
I agree with that.
yeah, back to quality, not quantity, and paying attention to the little details, because little details always do become big details or big problems. And the reason I'm talking about quality or quantity is recently I've had such an experience of things that were already set in motion and set in place. You know, you take things for granted. I take things for granted that I've surrounded myself with a really great support system, great support staff, and also when it comes to our photos as agents, I have a really great, beautiful photographer, Susan Schiebler, and her daughter, Krista, and they're amazing. They put people at ease. They really bring out the best photo for an agent, for an individual, bring out their soul. We've had a different podcast about the photographer for my homes, where my clients, just recently, this past weekend, we did a shoot in West Hampton, slightly over $1 million. Oh, come check it out. I'll be there on Saturday. Oh, yeah. Oh, I better do a whole podcast for that. And literally, I couldn't even tell you what the sellers, they asked, I can't spoil the surprise. They asked, is it customary to tip the photographer? And I said, no, it's really not customary. But I asked them, well, what would you tip him? And they told me the amount. I said, here, don't worry. When I get the invoice, I'll add that amount right on top as a tip. We'll call it gas money. My photographer is great. He's been on a podcast. So anyway, I mean, to have people go out of their way to ask if they should tip or to just, I get text messages from my clients that say, tell the kid he did a wonderful job on the photos. That was another recent client. Or just the ease of my clients are like, Ted, you're handling the photos. You have the keys. Okay, we'll see you in 6 hours. And the reason I point this out is because when you go to those lengths to have the right people around you that are able to get the right work done, and suddenly everything else falls into place and it looks like magic, or it looks like luck. Because recently I got a call from a client that they're a client now. I had never met them. They bought one of my listings 3 years ago, and I had never met them. When it's your listing, you sometimes don't end up meeting the buyer. They have their own agent. The transaction happens. It was probably a closing. I wasn't able to make it to the closing. So lo and behold, I never met the buyers. I knew the seller. Very well. And then 3 years later, these same buyers say, we want to sell our house. They give me a phone call, and I did not have their number in my phone. They were not my buyers. And they we sit down at their house. Everything goes well. Obviously, they did interview 4 other real estate agents, and then they called me back in and said, "Yeah, Ted, you obviously know the house better, and we feel more comfortable with you and your knowledge and your expertise. It's a very unique house." And that was great. And I did ask. You always want to ask where your results come from, and I said. I asked him, so what made you call? Other than that, I was the one who sold the house. So if you look on Zillow, you could find me that I sold it. Okay. They said, no, they actually kept a postcard.
Yeah?
I had it here.
I guess they disappeared.
It's over there. It's on that desk. Hey, and Bing, I have you on the microphone. You haven't spoken once.
Well, you were doing your thing. I was just letting you riffraff.
Back to surrounding myself with all the right people.
No, listen, you hit it on the head. I mean, people come to you because you do a good job. And the thing is what a lot of people don't realize, I guess, in business, and is that if you just try to get as many jobs out as possible, or just try to focus on like the number of things you're selling, and you're not focusing on whether or not they're good things, you're going to end up losing money in the long run.
Well, it has to do with customer service in our business. In my business, it has to do with customer service. And let me tell you, it is not an easy thing to handle when you have, and I'm not trying to brag, and it is what it is. I have a lot of clients, and I do want to do the best thing for them. I would love to expand with customer service. I would love to have someone else. I would love to clone myself. But that's actually my personality test that I took 5 years ago. It said, I'm looking for my clone.
Really?
And it's definitely a very long search. So anyway, the reason this goes back to the little things. This is the reason they reached out to me. And the camera won't do it justice. It's just a typical postcard that gets sent out after you sell a home. This one obviously sold in 7 days. And they kept it. Now, I keep going back in my head to say, wait a minute, what works and what doesn't work when it comes to my business plans and my business strategies? And would they have kept it if their home wasn't so beautiful? Maybe if the pictures were taken with my iPhone, I understand they didn't keep it for my photo, but my photo is very classy right here too.
Very elegant.
Yeah. And and their home. And someone would keep this. I would keep this. I actually just saw one of my other postcards go out for a very, we just sold, listed and sold a little two-bedroom house right here in Patchogue. And my mom commented on it because she saw the postcard and she said, oh, that's a nice little house, And again, professional photos, my own photo, my co-listing agent's photo on there as well. So, and this is really just the little things. There was a lot of little things that add up, and it was just the one thing that I was just shocked at. I imagined a neighbor seeing the postcard. I just never imagined the actual owners keeping it, and that is actually a beautiful thing.
It adds value to the service. I mean, it shows you take the time to care, and you want people to know that you provide a really good service and you're willing to be there for them. So what it does too is like, that's the thing. Like a lot of like some people, like especially in the customer service industry, they're just focused on making the sale, making the job, whatever industry it is. It's what you do. Like when you're not doing the job itself or providing the service itself, it's what you do for the person outside of that. It's providing more than a service. It's almost like providing a friendship or like a community aspect to it as well.
Yeah, it really is true.
Quality.
Well, and in my business in particular, and I would have to believe in a lot of other businesses, including yours as a producer, Bing, it is about customer service, and we're in the business of people and relationships, and that's it. And it's true of any side of real estate. It's all the same relationship, people. And the moment the people disappear from the transaction, then that's when real estate agents will disappear as well. So I believe in keeping the details. I believe in keeping nice quality details, and if it means you do 10% less transactions or even 20% less transactions, I'm good with it. My biggest problem is trying to make sure that all my clients are happy, especially in certain instances where you have a a great amount of clients. That's the problem with being like when you have a restaurant. When you get too busy, sometimes it's almost like quality control is very difficult. So, but I'm managing. So you're in the office all the time, Bing. So you'll keep tabs on me.
Don't worry, folks. I'll whip him into shape. But
and when we can find the clone, I'm good.
I'm actually working on that right now in my basement. I'm piecing together all the biological components right now. It's just kind of difficult, but no.
I hope so.
All kidding aside, though, I mean, like you said something very important too about like the size of the operation. The bigger it is, the harder it is to control the quality. I mean, you look at major corporations. Like you go to a Dunkin' Donuts. A Dunkin' Donuts is not going to be the same in each town, and it's going to be quick. It's going to be processed. But if you go to like a local donut shop, the quality is going to be better because there's maybe 2 or 3 stores as opposed to 3,000 stores.
We have a little bakery that opened up about 6 months ago, and I try to go there whenever possible when if I'm on my way to a client's house, because rules of etiquette. You don't go to a person's house for the very first time empty-handed. I don't care what people think, like I'm bringing a bribe to a client. I bring them donuts or a cake or cookies, or if there's little kids there, something along those lines. But yes, rules of etiquette. You do not arrive to someone's home for the first time as a visitor empty-handed. And you also are supposed to exit the same door you enter.
Really?
That's rules of Greek culture. That's a whole podcast for you. I have to write them down, of course, but I'll give you everything. Everything
that's a
from
very good idea.
What do you do when you spill salt?
What do you do?
You have to throw it over your left shoulder.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it like a good luck thing?
It's a anti-bad luck thing.
Yeah, anti-bad luck thing. Okay. I mean, I guess we got to keep some salt around.
Yeah. Oh no, we got hundreds of these. Everything from what you should not leave with from a person's house, and if it's dark. And no, I don't mean their jewelry. You shouldn't steal. But yeah, certain things. That would be a cool podcast.
Yeah, that I'm writing down. I actually just wrote down.
And those are all little things, so it actually coincides with this. So they are actually. It's about all these little things. Well, anyway, back to quality. Did we have anything else on this topic?
Well, I would say, like, when it comes to, like, I like the idea of little things because it's like, a handshake, a smile.
There's a song that goes, "It's the little things that mean a lot."
Who wrote that?
When I tell you, you'll never believe it. I believe Sonny Bono. And it's about, it's the little things that mean a lot. It's it's who you are, not what you got. I feel like I could recite maybe one more line, but I think it's Sonny Bono. I think it's Sonny and Cher from the 60s.
Oh, wow. I mean, listen, it still rings true today. I mean, buying someone a cup of coffee or, like you said, showing up to their house with like a little thing of donuts. I mean, it's worth the $10, $12 to secure a, not
it's
only
the please and thank you.
Yeah,
like
it really is.
Where have there's certain things that we make for instance, well, boy, I really should be a little more articulate. So, for instance, when someone pays you a compliment, you know what the hardest thing in the world is for some people is to just say thank you. Like if someone says, "Oh, that's a great that's a great shirt on you," and you might say, "Oh, I had nothing else to wear." Like I didn't say, "Why did you wear that shirt?" That's the answer. You're supposed to just say thank you. Or if someone says, "Yeah, oh, you look like you lost weight," you just say thank you. Not, "Oh no, I'm not. I didn't lose any weight." So we always make these excuses, almost to self-deprecate.
Yeah, no,
and
I'm guilty of that
SAT
too,
word. Yes, Yeah, we're all probably guilty of it, and it's such a nice feeling when someone just says thank you. I like complimenting people. I compliment people all the time, in more ways than they know. That's right.
Well, we know what you meant. We knew what you meant. But just saying, it also exudes confidence, and that's like another thing that goes a long way too, especially in business, is that if you could just take a compliment, or you just walk into a room and it's like, I know what I can do, I know what I got. That goes a very long way when it comes to not only building friendships and community, but also business partners and clients.
And I'm painfully shy.
Oh yeah, totally, bro. Totally.
Yep. So don't underestimate the little things. Don't underestimate the power of a 50. Actually, postage was cheaper 3 years ago. The power of I think it was a 39-cent postcard. 39-cent postcard leads to a very nice transaction. So anyway, little things, and try to avoid sacrificing quality for quantity.
I'd say so. So where can the folks find you?
The folks can find me at this beautiful home because I've been. No, the folks can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. The Real Ted G, the Real Ted G podcast. Thanks for joining us.